Hi class, welcome to week 3 of child development. You've all been putting in a lot of hard work and I can see that. Keep the questions coming. Week 3 is a focus on infant development, first few years of life and milestones that one can expect and the different types of learning that you will observe within an infant, social, cognitive, physical development and their milestones. We'll be focusing on theorists such as Piaget in the cognitive arena of development, looking at schemas and that kind of learning by association. We'll also be looking at some of the major players in developmental theory and attachment theory, such as Bowlby and Erikson, just to name a few. We'll be looking at some other articles, so definitely take a look at all of the readings that are there for you under the rubric electronically. And there is a quiz this week and an additional preparation assignment, if you will. Reminder, we're nearing the mid-week area of this course, and week 6, the final week, you are expected to submit a final paper. And this is a rich research paper where you're really evaluating strengths and areas of growth of a complete research study and how that research was presented. You have 2 articles to choose from. So this week is about reading the articles and choosing that article that you want to focus your paper on. That will be the article you'll be writing about and evaluating and critiquing. And of course, just like other papers, you'll then be including other literature to heighten sort of the rationale for why you think some aspects of the research was sound or very reliable or very valid, and why you may think otherwise by looking at what the literature suggests and what other literature is out there related to the topic. So this week would be great to choose the article, read it, and maybe start doing a little bit of a search for other articles, or literature review, we call that, for things that might be helpful in including in your final paper. There's also a prompt for you to sort of ask me a couple questions if you may have any right now in this very early stage of preparation for that. As usual, we have a discussion post, and then our paper is different. It's not a written paper per se this week. However, you are to come up with a creative resource for a new parent. So that may be a slideshow, or that may be a pamphlet. You can use any kind of media support program that you would like, but it's to be dynamic, user-friendly, easy to read, and hitting all of those different milestones and content that's suggested under the module for you to prepare. I'm also looking for you to follow proper APA formatting and citation, even though it may be a slideshow and presentation. What does that mean? That means there should still be a list of references at the end, and any page or slideshow, part of the pamphlet, if that's not your own findings and you're citing any kind of definitions or statistics or content from somewhere else, there really needs to be an APA citation in parentheses of the author and year of publishing from where you got that information from. This is really important if it's something that you're going to be, handing out to people or giving as a guide, so they can go back and reference, oh, who really came up with that idea, or who had made that finding in research, or where can I get more information about this that's really accurate and sound and valid. So don't forget to include that too, and to include other, other information and resources to support your claims in those creative handouts or presentations this week. Also, you can just to give you a heads up about a special note about something. There was a change this semester to expectations about your participation in the discussion posts. Outside of your own original post, we are requiring at least 2 really thoughtful and meaningful posts in response to other students' original posts to get full credit. It used to be 3 or more, and the rubric still had that old grading system, and I was operating under that. It wasn't clear, and it was sort of misleading and not congruent with the other material in the module. And a fellow student kind of brought me that to my attention, and I did notice there a lot of new language in the module. So I consulted with a supervisor and had that fixed today just for this week and the subsequent weeks moving forward. So take a look at your rubrics really well. Always use those as a guide before submitting anything in this course, but also take note that that has slightly changed. And so it's a little bit more clear, hopefully, on what that participation grade entails. It has to be submitted within a certain time frame to get full credits. It needs to be really in depth and rich, those two posts. And so there are different elements of what will get you full credit or not full credit still in there. So please take a look at those. The previous weeks were not altered or changed, obviously, at this point, but what I'll do is I'll go back and make sure that everyone who deserves certain credit or full credit, or that the credit was deserved the way it should be. So I'll be doing that later this week just to compare and contrast and make sure it sort of adds up to the new rubric more or less. If there are questions about that, definitely let me know. But hopefully it should be much more clear moving forward. Try to think if there's any other special notes about this week. Some weeks you're going to have quizzes, some weeks you're not going to have quizzes. This week you do have a quiz. And just always look at the module learning and at the rubrics for what's expected. Yeah, I think that's about it for right now. Happy reading and preparation for the assignments this week and moving forward. We hope we are varying the learning experience enough here. And I really enjoy reading not only your original discussion posts, but how thoughtful you are in adding to the discussion with your follow-up comments to the other students. So it is important that you get full credit for those things too. And you're definitely adding to the richness of the learning in this course by doing that. Keep doing your best to follow APA formatting in any way you can. And don't forget to ask me questions about that too if you have them, or to utilize resources for writing that are there for you at BayPath. All right, I'm signing off and I will speak to you next week. Have a good week. Stay warm and dry.